This week in the Monday Night War, it's Monday Night Raw by themselves. On Friday, USA Championship Friday, we've got a tournament for the Intercontinental Championship, and we've got the world champion Shawn Michaels in the main event versus Goldust. SP3, Romeo. This is Tru Rewind 79.
This is Tru Rewind. This is Tru Rewind.
This is Tru Rewind. This is Tru Rewind.
This is Tru Rewind. This is Tru Rewind.
Hello. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom, SP3. Jump into DeLorean, pump up the flux capacitor, fasten your seatbelts, put on the helmets as we go back in time to September 6, 1996 for a special edition of Monday Night Raw on a Friday, I guess. Championship Friday it is for another edition, episode 79 of Tru Rewind. This is where we go back in time to the Monday Night Wars. We usually watch Raw and Nitro and we decide what was the better show for the week, but this time we are strictly talking about Raw on Championship Friday from September 6, 1996, and I am with the Master of Ceremonies, the pilot and driver of the DeLorean, the face and the ace of the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, Mr. Romeo Anthony Cologne.
Thank you, good brother. There was a sense of sadness that overcame me, knowing that, for 3 weeks now, we've only had to watch at tops 2 hours of wrestling. Now next week, we go back to watching 3 a week. The sense of dread.
Hey, we only have 1 week to watch, and then we get Fall Brawl. So, yeah, that is another 3-hour show, though. But yeah, there you go. At least it's a good one. And this one was very interesting. The little tidbits said by commentary were probably the most interesting thing about this episode that we're about to get into here. But we appreciate anyone who is watching the premiere of Tru Rewind episode 79 on Fightful Overbooked if you're watching it on demand. But show your appreciation back by dropping the thumbs up on this video. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the Fightful Overbooked YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And while you're at it, go over to the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel as well and show your support over there. We are growing and we always love new subscribers, new viewers to our content over there as well. But Tru Rewind, I hope you are ready for a wild ride as we go back in time to USA Championship Friday, Monday Night Raw on a Friday. Romeo, take it away.
Raw was taped from Wheeling, West Virginia, 1996. We get an intro with epic music building up Shawn Michaels and Goldust. Our commentators for the evening, Kevin Kelly, Jim Ross. And we start with the Intercontinental Championship tournament, which is vacated, of course, because of the Ahmed Johnson injury. We've got Sycho Sid facing off against Hunter Hearst Helmsley, or as they say on his nameplate, H.H. Helmsley. Oh, just rolls off the tongue.
Didn't even get an entrance, ladies and gentlemen.
Jabroni entrance.
He's still being punished for that curtain call.
Yes, he is. The piped in reaction was so obvious. It was louder than the commentary. You didn't need to pipe it in. They were going crazy for Sid anyways. You didn't need to amplify it.
They love Sid.
Whatever.
And I love the sign, Sid rules the world. That is correct. I do. I bet
you do. Hunter's lady, Kimberly, is at ringside. And they show us a little bit of the storyline that's been going on shows not named Raw. Mr. Perfect has been taking away Hunter's ladies from ringside recently, which is very, very strange and odd behavior.
I mean, they kind of talked about it like women were a possession that belonged to Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and Mr. Perfect was stealing it. I don't
We're
know.
only getting
I don't.
started.
There was a lot
This
on this
is
show that didn't age well. I will say
listen.
that.
This is 1996. The worst is yet to come, as far as cringe factor goes.
This is true.
It's culture of 1996 compared to now. So this match, Sid with a chokeslam that the crowd pops for legit. Mr. Perfect comes down the aisle. Oh, I wonder what he's gonna do. Power bomb by Sid, and Sid, a religious person, he performs last rites, and then he gets the win. Mr. Perfect begins to walk out with the beautiful woman and a sinister smile on his face. Helmsley gets up to his feet eventually, shoves the ref, and wonders where his girl's at. And then he sees Perfect leaving with Kimberly, smiling at his expense. And if you want more information from the Wrestling Observer newsletter and Dave Meltzer, there's been a
Uncle Dave.
recent storyline between Perfect and Helmsley, where Perfect comes to ringside stealing girls. It's actually not going to lead to a feud. The plan is for it to be revealed that Mr. Perfect is taking the women away from ringside because he feels they're distracting Helmsley and keeping him from reaching his full potential. The idea is it will lead to Mr. Perfect mentoring and managing Helmsley.
Ah, this makes no sense at all.
And some would consider that cock blocking.
Yeah, I don't think it's distracting him at all. He just sucks right now. Like that's what's happening. He's being punished with a damn curtain call. This wasn't much. This was a little more than a squash. They gave Hunter some offense, so at least at least Vince is like, you know what, you can at least get some offense in before we beat you again. You're looking up at the lights again. So I guess it's getting better. His punishment. He's not. He's out of the doghouse somewhat. I guess.
Can
But
you see
yeah,
the light at the end of the tunnel?
he can see it. He can see it because they actually have a storyline that's going to lead to him having Perfect, I guess, as an associate. So
Allegedly.
there's something on the rise for Hunter. This is better than where he was 3 months ago.
We get a segment on Ahmed Johnson's injury, his doctor that performed the surgery, explaining how Ahmed has gotten better. And Ahmed Johnson, I don't know if you wrote down anything for Ahmed Johnson or if you just want me to explain it. Okay.
Yeah, you could just explain it. They didn't give him enough of an opportunity to speak. Also,
He was rather laid back as far as Ahmed Johnson's standards
yeah,
go.
he wasn't in amen mode. This was more of like the real person talking.
He explains the fact that him still being here tells him something from above. You know, if God didn't want him there, he would find a way to take him out. Basically, he's coming back.
That was a
All
little,
right.
that was a little like worrying.
little-
I was like wow, okay.
A little what? Say that again.
This was a little worrying because he was like he could have died from a kick to the kidneys. I was like,
A little doom and gloom.
yeah, I was kind of worried about him, but it's glad that he has faith that he's coming back.
Jim Ross says tonight he will break the biggest story of the year. But first, we got Brian Pillman joining commentary and says he's got news. He's got some big news. He's got news on Bret Hart and Bret Hart's return. And Pillman mentions he was trained in the dungeon. He's basically raised by the Hart family. And he also mentions a reconciliation has happened between Owen Hart and Bret Hart. And he says he will have Bret Hart there at In Your House Mind Games for an interview. And right away, I'm going, wow, did Pillman just outscoop JR? But no, JR's news is a little bit later on, and we will get to that. But Pillman's news about Bret Hart, we've missed Bret Hart. That's a big deal around here. We want Bret Hart back.
Absolutely. Bret Hart's been one of the best things about Monday Night Raw through the first year of the Monday Night Raw, of the Monday Night War. So yeah, Bret Hart coming back is big news. And this was the first seed being sold to what would be the new Hart Foundation with Brian Pillman being involved. And we got a lot on commentary sowing the seeds for one of the iconic feuds of the Monday Night Wars that WWE doesn't give enough attention to, especially if you saw Stone Cold's A&E documentary, the Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret the Hitman Hart feud.
Yes. And we got more from the Wrestling Observer newsletter. Let's talk about Bret Hart here.
Uncle Dave.
He said Hart is scheduled to work WWF's tour of South Africa next week. He agreed to do the tour because it was a part of the world he'd never been to. He wanted to go to. But beyond that, he has no commitments to WWF. Hart and Vince McMahon had a meeting weeks ago where they agreed to an angle for Bret's return, though likely not until late 96, which would lead to a match with Steve Austin and probably a rematch with Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania next year. But Hart hasn't committed yet, and he is reportedly weighing his options. WCW has made him an offer for wrestling and a 3-movie deal with Turner's Film Company. Hart's WWF contract expired months ago. He's a free agent right now. Dave says that Bret Hart is in the best bargaining position of any wrestler in history. Both WWF and WCW desperately want him. Both have deep pockets. They're both viciously competing with each other, and whichever side gets him, it'll be the biggest coup yet. If Bret plays his cards right and plays both companies against each other, he can likely get the biggest guaranteed contract in wrestling history, aside from Hulk Hogan. Hart has said in the past that he has no interest in going to WCW. But even if that's true, it's in his best interest to pretend he does and negotiate with them to leverage a better deal out of WWF. So really juicy contract details right now about Bret Hart.
Man, if you had just replaced Bret Hart's name with MJF, I wouldn't have known the difference. I wouldn't have known the difference unless you say 19 instead of 1996, you says 2024. I wouldn't have known the difference at all. But yeah, very interesting that this whole Bret the Hitman Hart case kind of in the middle of this whole war that's going on between WCW and WWF. How different would everything had been if Bret had chosen to go to WCW at the end of 1996? I mean, I don't think it would be that much different. I think he would officially join the NWO instead of that what we're gonna see later on. He would officially join the NWO if he came in late 1996.
Yes, and we would never get that awesome, memorable, your favorite WrestleMania match in history, I believe, right? Your favorite?
Absolutely. But you hear the plans. The plan is just for a Steve Austin match probably at Survivor Series at the end of the year, and then he's supposed to verse Shawn Michaels. Nothing will go wrong. People won't lose their smiles or anything.
Man, we will get there. But first, it is another IC title tournament match. We've got Marc Mero with Sable versus the aforementioned Stone Cold Steve Austin, who looks happy to be here. And the end of this match, Austin pulls the ref, Mike Chioda, into harm's way when Mark was attempting to hit Austin coming back into the ring. And Mike Chioda does his best Nick Patrick impersonation, calls for the disqualification. And Austin afterwards continues his attack with a Stone Cold Stunner. The Fink announces that Marc Mero is indeed the victor here by disqualification. The refs come down to break up the brawl. Marc Mero will face Owen Hart next in this tournament. And I was a little surprised here. I wasn't sure which way the ref was going to go with the DQ here. So when I heard Marc Mero, I was like, okay, you got it right. Because Nick Patrick, you don't know. We watch WCW. We don't know where he's going to call it.
This is true. When it goes to Nick Patrick, you never know, but I wouldn't say he pulled the Nick Patrick. He actually did a good job. He recognized that Stone Cold was the person who made physical contact with the referee, that whatever contact was made between Mero and Mike Chioda was accidental, and he disqualified the heel. And I think that this was a good way to protect both guys, continue their feud. They're a feud that basically Austin has pretty much dominated. So this gives Marc Mero a win against Stone Cold without Stone Cold losing ahead of his feud with Bret the Hitman Hart.
But you just crowned Stone Cold King of the Ring. Wouldn't you want to put the vacant IC title on him?
I mean, from
this
how
goes back to what we were talking about, how they book him after King of the Ring.
For how WWE tells this story, I mean, he's going straight to the top. It was that Austin 316 promo. Bret Hart had nothing to do with it. It was the Austin 316 promo, skyrocket to the top. He wasn't on SummerSlam card. He's not winning the vacant Intercontinental Championship. You know, but that Austin 316 promo, oh man, he was set after that.
Revisionist history. Folks, we're living right through it. Steve Austin's losing IC tournament matches to Marc Mero by DQ. It's not booked strong. Not booked strong. They're protecting him, but not booked strong.
Yeah. Let's give them credit for at least protecting him and not giving him a straight up loss, even though he has had straight up losses since King of the Ring. So they're doing the best they can to protect him, though.
We got the world's strongest man, Mark Henry.
Oh,
He's
this
in the
was
King's
bad.
Court. Really?
That's
He's in the King's Court with Jerry the King Lawler. Jerry asked Mark, what did the Olympics and Jake the Snake at SummerSlam have in common? They both got bombed, folks. The Atlantic bombing in the Olympics, somebody died there. 111 people injured. And Jerry the King Lawler made a joke about it.
Yo, I was like, and I remember that, and I was just like, wow, like WWF had no crap, no fucks given about making a bombing joke. Really? The same company that, you know, did a whole special after 9/11? Oh my god. Like, just 5 years later, they treat it completely different. But it happened in Atlanta. Oh, let's make a joke about it. And
Man.
Someone's real life addiction as well. The double whammy. We're gonna check both of the boxes. We're gonna check the box of making fun of Jake the Snake Roberts' addiction, as well as making fun of a real life bombing where someone died.
And folks, this is taped. So they could have watched this back and said, hey, should we leave that in there? That's kind of fucked up. Leave it in there.
Yo, leave it in live. And we don't give a damn. That was funny.
Jerry calls out Mark for not having a match yet, getting a lot of people backstage angry. He made Jerry mad at SummerSlam. And he made Jake mad at SummerSlam too, because he couldn't finish the bottle of whiskey that Jerry was pouring down Jake's throat. Mark goes on to mention he don't like Jerry, he don't like Vader, he don't like a lot of people around here. That prompts Jerry to ask for a wrestling match with Mark Henry, and Mark immediately gets in a fighting stance and says, "Ain't nothing but air and opportunity." Great line. Mark Henry says he's not ready to wrestle yet. He's still training to become a wrestler. And Jerry says, well, Mark should have won a gold medal at the Olympics for being the biggest coward there. And those words are enough for Mark Henry to change his mind and say it's on if you want a wrestling match, Jerry.
Mark Henry was out here sweating like R. Kelly at an 8th grade graduation.
Good God.
He was sweating bullets.
I'm not gonna edit that out, folks.
You would have thought that he had a match. He was sweating so much. Oh my goodness. He was sweating like Patrick Ewing in the NBA finals. Like it was like, damn. I know the back of his shirt is drenched. He got imprints of his back on his shirt. And his shirt is navy blue. Navy blue. You know how hard it is to see sweat on a navy blue sweater? Oh man, oh Jesus. I was like, he is nervous about this interview. And he should be nervous. He's out there with Jerry the King Lawler, a man that never saw a joke that was inappropriate in his life. He never said, you know what, maybe it's a little inappropriate. I might not be able to do that joke. Nope. Jerry the King Lawler never said that. Never said that in 1996, 1997, all the way up to like 2010, 2011, when he eventually becomes a babyface and stops making inappropriate jokes. He does make inappropriate comments after that though. So But yeah, I did not like this segment.
Damn, I differ. I didn't think the segment was. I thought the segment was fine. I mean, I like how Jerry goaded the young, inexperienced rookie into a match, and I think Mark Henry did good for his part. The joke, yeah, you could say stuff about the joke. The joke was out of line though.
I mean, Jerry King Lawler's delivery is always good, but Mark Henry, he didn't sound convincing to me.
Next up, we had Mankind versus the Pug, Alex Porto. Poor Alex Porto. Mankind had more fun playing with his hair than
Commentary did not give a damn about this entire match. They first announced that The Undertaker will be in action this Monday against the undefeated Salvatore Sincere, Jim Ross, and then Jim Ross with the biggest news story of the year. Romeo, are you ready? Are you ready?
You guys are not going to believe us. You're not going to believe it.
Big Daddy Cool Diesel and the bad guy Razor Ramon are on their way back to the World Wrestling Federation. I was like, oh boy, here we go. I was waiting for this. I was like, oh man, here we go. Here it comes. Oh man, but I know you got
from JR's very reliable sources.
Yes, very reliable sources. Kevin Kelly even tries to get confirmation. Like, are you sure about these?
Like, wait, you want to say that again?
You want to say that again? Like, I'm not too sure you got that right. But he was like, nope. And he was like, very reliable sources let him know that Big Daddy Cool Diesel and the bad guy Razor Ramon are on their way back to the World Wrestling Federation. And I thought what he said secondary was even bigger news, that Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle met with the WWF earlier this week. I thought that was bigger news than what's going to eventually come out of
But listening to this in 1996, they're like, Kurt Angle, who cares? What? Yeah. Diesel and Razor Ramon are coming back?
We were like, wait, what? I know this is a Friday, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna be on Nitro on Monday.
They're helping WCW with this because people want to tune into Nitro. See, whoa, are they really? Are they gonna say it on Nitro?
Like, are they gonna be like, oh, they went back? They went back. They're not in the NWO anymore. They went back.
We're going to talk more about this when this eventually happens, but man, you could see the writing on the wall that this is not good.
This is not well thought out. This was not well thought out at all.
I mean, his sources weren't exactly wrong, but they sure did set up JR for failure. Anyways.
Oh, this is their first attempt at making JR a heel, too.
Mankind wins with the mandible claw, of course.
Easily.
All right. Yes. Sycho Sid and some Special Olympians, they beat some poor elephant in a tug of war.
The elephant beat Sid by himself in the tug of war, though. So,
and then it became a handicap match with Sid and the Special Olympians beating the elephant.
Why would they do that to the poor elephant? The elephant didn't ask for no handicap match. Like he wanted it 1D, him versus Sycho Sid, and they didn't even ask him if he was willing to give Sid a rematch. They just ganged up on him and just pulled the rope and made him walk backwards. Man, this is animal cruelty at its finest.
Indeed. And by the way, I think I did see in the Wrestling Observer newsletter that Linda McMahon offered Kurt Angle a 2-year contract, I believe, or something like that. But Kurt Angle still has offers from 2 Japanese wrestling companies as well. I didn't get the names of them. Interesting.
Very interesting.
Speaking of interesting, Bob Backlund is out here.
Well, you forgot this rest of this experience in Canada. They also showed footage of a special event that went down, and Roddy Piper made a surprise appearance at the special event. The reason why I took note of this is it will be very interesting where we see Roddy Piper next. That's all I will tell you, folks.
Yeah. That event was in Canada, I believe. So Roddy Piper make an appearance. Bob Backlund is bringing back the man that's going to win the WWF Championship. His words, not mine.
I
First,
love
he's going to
commentary
introduce.
being like, how many W's was that?
First, he's introducing this man's mentor and trainer, which is the Iron Sheik. And the Iron Sheik, with Bob Backlund, rambles as only the Iron Sheik can do. And JR and Kelly, they get so tired of it, they go immediately to commercial break.
Yo, they dead ass pulled an Oscars and played his music just to stop the promo, but he kept going over it. He was like Mr. T at that Hall of Fame ceremony.
Yeah. It's time for the main event. The WWF Championship, Shawn Michaels versus Goldust. But first, as Goldust is making his entrance, a pre-recorded promo from The Undertaker. Nothing special or crazy here. Just telling him the end is near and he will rest.
I got you.
You really want to say this? Or you want to waste your?
Yeah.
It's nothing. It's nothing.
It's nothing at all. He didn't even really put on the voice and do his final line correctly. Where he was
like Mark Calloway.
He's like, Goldust, your time is up. And now that pack of jackals that you travel with, your family, no one can save you now. The end is at hand. You will rest in peace. Not even the pauses. Not even the pauses, right. Like rest in peace. No, he said it one full sentence. You will rest in peace.
I don't know what's wrong with Undertaker.
What is going on? Why is he focused on the Goldust? Mankind stole your manager, your urn. Like, what is going on? Why are you focused on Goldust? And who is this pack of jackals? What pack of jackals does Goldust travel with? What family? Marlena? Like, what? What are we talking about here? But Taker is going to be facing Goldust in the final curtain match at Mind Games.
I agree, Sid. Undertaker should be more concerned about Mankind. It's like Hangman Page being obsessed with Adam Cole and fucking Okada instead of, the AEW Championship he lost.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, check out AE Ramble episode 46. I fixed this with adding just a few words to his promo. Hangman Adam Page. All he had to say was, I want a match, put me in the main event, or I want the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. I want Okada. Pretty simple how you just tweak that. But of course, Romeo's going to focus on that. He gave Dynamite a thumbs down, but that's besides the point. We're in 1996.
All right. During Shawn Michaels' entrance, he dumps Goldust over the top rope twice. He loves doing that to people during his entrance.
Yeah.
Jim Ross says WWF officials probably not all that happy with Shawn Michaels, considering he just posed for Playgirl magazine.
They meant Bret Hart. They said WWE officials, but they meant Bret Hart. Bret Hart probably called Vince up, like, you know what? You offered me a nice little contract, but that goddamn Bret Hart, that goddamn Shawn Michaels was on the cover of Playgirl. I'm going to WCW.
By the way, I couldn't help but notice that the top of this magazine, I see Sting, nude and rude. I was like, whoa, WCW Sting's in this too? No, it's the Rock megastar Sting. I was like, oh, shit.
Wait, The Rock? The Rock is in it? Imagine. You could take that any kind of way. Mario Van Peebles is in. He has a revealing interview as well.
Oh, my God. I'm trying to read this headline on Shawn Michaels. This Heartbreak Kid is single, sexy, and waiting to get wet with you. Wow. Holy shit.
Wow. I think Sonny would have something to say about that single part.
Mankind lurking backstage during this match. Do you remember what he said? Do you want to do his voice?
Yes, it was great. He's walking around backstage and he goes, sexy boy. Oh, sexy boy. I got a surprise for you.
No,
I
it's funny.
started dying laughing.
No, it's funny.
I started dying. Oh, sexy boy.
Shawn Michaels reverses a curtain call, slipping out of it, and then dives off the top rope, hitting a moonsault for the pin, for the win. And then Mankind sprints into the ring to help Goldust up so they can double team Shawn Michaels, but Shawn Michaels ducks under them and escapes. The announcers focus on a very happy, smiling Paul Bear as if he has something up his sleeve for mind games in your house. And that is the ending of Raw. What did you think of this match and the aftermath or lack
I
of
think,
aftermath?
yeah, I think by default it was the best match on the show. It was a very basic match. Goldust took the heat, slowed down Shawn. Shawn used his speed. I did like on the finish that Shawn did like a punk fake. He was on the second rope and like punk fake Goldust, who dropped down and then he hits the moonsault. I like commentary mentioning that the top rope moonsault was how he defeated Vader at SummerSlam. So it's basically become like his go-to move. If he's not going to hit Sweet Chat Music, he's going to hit that moonsault to get the win. So yeah, like the finish. The match was fine, but it was better than everything else on this night that was either a squash or had a shady finish to it. And the post match was the only disappointing part. Sean loves double teams, but he doesn't like to be on the receiving end of them.
On your point, I love wrestlers having multiple ways to finish a match. It adds to the drama of their future matches and 2 counts and all that. So yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap up this Raw. We both agree match of the night was the main event.
Yep. Shawn Michaels again.
Who is our MVP of Raw?
I went with Psycho Sid. He's getting those huge pops. He seems like an absolute mega star whenever he comes out, and he got a convincing victory over Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
I agree. He's my MVP as well. LVP, Jabroni of the night. I have 3 of them. Hunter Hearst Helmsley didn't look good, having basically a squash, and also his girl getting stolen. Jim Ross with a terrible scoop. He got outscooped by Pillman, and his scoop is nothing. We know in retrospect, it's nothing. It's bullshit. And Jerry the King Lawler for that joke. 3 LVPs. Who's your LVPs?
I can't give it to Jim Ross because at the time, if you're talking to 8-year-old SP3, I'm just like intrigued by this. Yes, it is going to make me watch Nitro to see if Scott Hall and Kevin Nash are there, but I'm also going to watch Raw to see what the hell he's talking about and how are they going to be on both shows. So he's made me come back to Monday and watch both shows as I would always do at 8 years old. I can't give it to Jerry the King Lawler because this is Lawler. I've accepted the fact. This is Lawler. Lawler says inappropriate things all the time, and it ages horribly. It's like breast milk out in the sun for like 4 weeks. It just ages horribly. Whatever Jerry the King Lawler says on these shows. So yeah, my LVP is Triple H. He basically got squashed and he got his girl stolen. So he's took 2 L's on this night. So he's my LVP.
For a thumbs out. And in 3, 2, 1, thumbs up, thumbs middle, thumbs down for this edition of Friday Night Raw. 3, 2, 1. Thumbs in the middle from both of us. Nothing memorable really here, except for the fact that this is the first time they mention the return of Diesel and Razor. And that's not memorable in a good way. That's memorable in a bad way.
We also got, like I said earlier, the seeds being sold for a potential new Heart Foundation. Yes. Talking about Owen and Brett are on the same page, as well as Brian Pillman and his connection to the dungeon. Seeds being sold for Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. And yes, he's being sold for one of the worst angles in WWE history, the return of Big Daddy Cool Diesel and Razor Ramon. So it wasn't noteworthy. Right. Noteworthy doesn't always mean good, but noteworthy means there are things that are worth talking about coming out of this episode. So I will give it that much, but nothing mind-blowing, nothing great. So that's why I couldn't go thumbs up.
And I like how they're using Pillman, even though Pillman can't wrestle right now, still hurt and injured. I could not find the rating for this Friday night show, so we'll just do without that. We got a little extra time here, SP3. So I was figuring, would you like to guess? We haven't done this in a while. Who is leading our match of the night, MVP and LVP, as I've been keeping track of this throughout the whole Monday Night War?
Overall,
Yes, overall match of the night. Who do you think are the top three?
well, this
Match of
is
the night.
appropriate because this week marks 1 year in 1996, 1 year since
That's right.
the
Yeah.
start of the Monday Night War. So it's an appropriate episode for us to do it here. So overall for both shows, that should be like right.
Yes, that's how I write it down.
So I'm either gonna say Ric Flair or Shawn Michaels at this point.
You just nailed two of them. Shawn Michaels is first, 47 votes. Ric Flair is third, 36 votes. Who do you think's number two?
Ooh, that's interesting because a bunch of names just came to mind when you said who's number two. I would say it's either Brett or Eddie.
You are good. Eddie with 39. Very nice job. MVPs. Who do you think's leading that?
Well, you know me. It's either Sting or because I say Sting almost every week. I feel like, or most.
Sting has dropped down. He's about fifth right now.
What? Oh man, I gotta get moving on that. But don't worry, he's about to have a major change. So no, I think I'll be bringing him back up the list.
Well, he's gonna leave for a while too.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's gonna hurt him.
Damn it. So yeah, either Sean. I've either got to be Sean.
Sean is
or,
fourth.
Wow. So I'm off on this one. Give me the top three then.
Number one. Well, let me start with three. Number three, Scott Hall, Razor Ramon with 30.
There. Yeah.
Number
that makes
two,
sense.
Ric Flair with 33.
Hmm.
And number one, this might be a little bit of a surprise. Kevin Nash, Diesel, 36.
Once you said Razor Scott Hall at number three, I was like, because I wanted to really say the NWO, but I was like, no, this angle's only been really going on for 3 months. But then I forgot that we're doing totals between when they were Razor and Diesel, and Diesel had that run towards the end where he was getting a lot of MVPs for his heel work. So yeah, that does make sense.
And finally, LVPs. Who do you think of the top three?
Hogan.
Number one with 52.
We gotta start like for the MVPs he gets as part of the NWO. We gotta start minusing his LVPs.
No, it does not work that way. It does not work that way.
He's like, I'm trying to help you out, Hogan. I'm trying. Hogan.
You
Hogan
think two
was
and three are?
Hogan was the most obvious for me. Well, Triple H has been getting a few ever since the curtain call.
No, he's pretty down there.
Oh, okay. So who?
But yeah, he is climbing. after I add tonight.
I'm trying to think. Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
No.
Oh wow. Yeah, give me the number 2 and 3.
Number 2, Steve Mongo McMichael with 18.
Makes sense.
Number 3.
He was lower before, but ever since he started wrestling, he's been going back up.
And number 3, I'm really surprised he didn't get this. The Macho Man, Randy Savage, was 17.
That is true. That's me. That is me. That is a bunch of me voting for Macho Man when they were just making him look like trash. Oh man, poor Macho.
There you have it. There you have it for this True Rewind 79.
Yes, thank you. Now you know who is in the leads for MVP, LVP, match of the night. But let us know what you thought about the USA Championship Friday edition of Raw, and who was your match of the night, MVP, LVP. Let us know in the comments down below as well, or in the live chat. If you're watching along with us, if you're following along with our journey through the Monday Night Raw, through the Monday Night War, let us know in the comments as well. But Romeo, please let the people know where they can find you on social media and what you got going on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel.
Hey, follow me on Tru Heel Romeo, Twitter and Instagram. And over on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, I am on there a lot, Mondays through Wednesdays, watch alongs, Raw, NXT, Dynamite, and on the weekends, usually watch alongs to pay per views. And you'll catch me also on any roundtable reviews and previews over there.
Yes, he's a very busy man. That is why he's the face and the ace of the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel. The only person who definitely is on the channel more than me. That's Romeo. You can find me on the Twitter machine at Tru Heel SP3. I'll be back here on Fightful Overbooked. I don't have as many shows as Jeremy Lambert once said I have, because Degrassi Dude is on hiatus as Steven Jensen gets used to his new shoot job. Don't worry, we will be back with Degrassi Dudes as well as Nerds of the 90s. And you can find me every single Monday or Tuesday for FMC. It's no longer Friday morning coffee. It's first morning coffee, as we go back and forth between Monday and Tuesdays, where we talk about anything but professional wrestling. Most of the time, the NBA finals. You got the Challenge, All-Stars 3, the Circle. And yes, me and Jeremy applied for the Circle season 5, Romeo, this past week.
I saw that. Good luck. Yeah. Good luck to you guys.
We're gonna make it.
Can I vote or anything like that, or no?
I mean, we just been having people do the campaign and tag the Circle Netflix and let them know that they need to pick us as the catfish duo. They've never had a biracial catfish duo. That's what we're here for. And also,
can I also mention one more thing?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Continue.
No, I was gonna say, you and the missus should watch The Circle. It's a very good show. Very good show to watch.
Put me on. I also wanted to mention Tru Heel Heat Sports coming very, very soon, where we will venture into the world of talking about sports, doing sports watch-alongs, everything and anything out there. Of course, if you follow me on Twitter, you already know I'm ranting and raving, mostly ranting about the New York Rangers playoff hockey run. So there's a lot to talk about in the sports world.
And since we're on Fightful Overbooked, I want to, extend the invitation if you ever want to join us for the penalty box. Since you are the creator of the penalty box graphic on FMC, you're always welcome to join, especially if you and Jeremy's hockey teams are in the Stanley Cup finals, whatever it's called.
Yes.
If the Rangers make it there, I did already warn Jeremy that you're quite annoying as a sports fan.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And I will be obnoxious and unbearable if the New York Rangers are able to come back and go into the Stanley Cup final. I already told Jeremy that he's a doppelganger of the Rangers goalie. Like, he looks just like him. And he was like, yeah, I could see it.
I'm pretty sure he does it on his off days. But you can find us, the team, on at Tru Heel Heat on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you want to be an even bigger supporter for what we do here on Fightful Overbooked, as well as the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat, $3 a month. Be a part of our Tru Heel Heat Prediction Championship. Be a part of our special content that we got over there, New Japan Pro Wrestling reviews, special lists that I do from time to time, and I'm going to be doing a match of the month. Going to go retroactive starting from January, choose a match that I liked from January and watch it on Patreon with you. So you get the content of the match that I'm watching, plus my live commentary, and wear what the Tru Heel Heat crew wears, prowrestlingtees.com/Tru Heels. So for Romeo, it is me, your Tru Heel Phenom, SP3. You can take off your seatbelts, remove your helmets, and eject from the DeLorean. This has been Tru Rewind, episode 79, USA Championship Friday. We are signing off until next time.
I thought you said ejaculate.